Welcome to the Endocrine Matters podcast. This podcast episode is sponsored by Complete Medicine and Hey Healthy. Friends, and welcome back to Endocrine Matters, the podcast where we rewrite the narrative around women's health with honesty, compassion, and science. Today's episode is incredibly close to my heart because I'm talking about us, South Asian women. I'm Indian. I grew up in an Indian household. I've treated hundreds of South Asian women in my practice, and I know firsthand the cultural expectations, the silence, the strength, the guilt, the pressure, and the love that shape our lives. And I also know this. South Asian women are at higher risk for nearly every major metabolic condition, and no one is talking to us about it. We're told that skinny is the way to look, or it's just age, beta. Everyone in the family has diabetes. It just happens. Women have to deal with menopause. But that's not the whole story, and it's definitely not the end of the story. Today, I want to give you clarity, compassion, and power, true power, to understand what's happening in your body in midlife and what you can do to protect your health for decades to come. So why are South Asian women different? Our risk is real and it starts early. As South Asian women, we don't start midlife on the same playing field as many other ethnic groups. Let me share something that may be surprising. South Asian women have some of the highest rates of type 2 diabetes in the world, about 22.4% even after adjusting for BMI. We develop diabetes and metabolic syndrome at lower body weights. We carry more visceral fat even when we look slim. We often develop metabolic problems years earlier than other ethnic groups. And this isn't about eating too much or not exercising enough or needing to lose weight. This is biology, it's genetics, this is multi-generational history, and it's time we start talking about it. The skinny fat body type is so common in South Asian women. If you've ever been told you're not even big, how can you have diabetes? Or, but you look fine, you're not imagining it. South Asians have a unique body composition, lower muscle mass, higher percentage body fat, higher liver fat, more fat stored inside muscles, more central fat, especially after menopause. This means we can be a size 4 and still be pre-diabetic. We can look healthy and still be at risk, and this is not your fault. Our beta cells, the cells that produce insulin in our pancreas, are more fragile. We also see something fascinating and frankly unfair. South Asian women have less beta cell reserve, meaning our pancreas has a harder time compensating when glucose rises. It's not just insulin resistance, it's also less ability to make insulin. So when we eat in a modern environment, more processed foods, less natural movement, more sugary drinks, more refined carbs, our bodies become overwhelmed faster. This didn't start with us. It started generations ago. Here's something that changed how I view South Asian metabolism forever. Between 1830 and 1980, while European populations grew taller by 10 to 15 centimeters, South Asians did not grow at all. Why? Multi-generational undernutrition. Our mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers lived in environments with food insecurity, nutritional scarcity, high poverty, limited protein. This shaped our genes, our pancreas, our muscle mass, and how we store fat. Even today, South Asian babies are born smaller, even when their mothers are healthy and well-nourished in pregnancy. Our bodies evolved for scarcity, not for abundance. So when we move to America, Canada, the UK, or urban India, where food is everywhere, our metabolism struggled. This is not moral failure. This is biology meeting modernity. Now let's talk about PCOS in South Asian women, the reality no one talks about. If you're South Asian and have PCOS, you're not alone, and you're not imagining that your symptoms seem worse. South Asian women with PCOS show symptoms earlier, often in their teens or early 20s. They have more severe insulin resistance, higher rates of infertility, more intense hirsutism. They have more metabolic complications even without obesity. Some studies show 6-fold higher odds of PCOS compared to Caucasian women. This means many of us enter midlife having had decades of insulin resistance long before menopause even arrives. This sets the stage for earlier diabetes, earlier hypertension, earlier fatty liver, earlier heart disease, and harder menopausal transition. But here's the good news. If we identify this early, we can dramatically improve outcomes. Menopause also hits South Asian women differently. This is something nobody warned me about. Nobody warns us about this. So South Asian women reach menopause 3 to 5 years earlier on average. Therefore, perimenopause also starts earlier. South Asian women have higher rates of subcutaneous and central fat gain after menopause, have earlier increases in blood pressure and glucose, experience a faster rise in cardiovascular risk, and are more likely to experience menopause symptoms intensely. And about 1/3 of South Asian American women hit menopause by age 45, far earlier than average. Why does this matter? Because earlier menopause means higher lifetime cardiovascular risk, higher risk of type 2 diabetes, higher bone loss, more years spent in low estrogen state. It extends the window of vulnerability. But again, knowledge is power, and midlife is the perfect opportunity for intervention. So let's talk about why midlife is the turning point. Here's the hopeful part. Midlife can be the moment everything changes for better, because this is when awareness meets opportunity. You're wiser, you know your body, you know your patterns. You're ready for truth, not fluff. I hope. And at this exact moment, your biology gives you a window to profoundly shift your health trajectory. When you understand what's happening, not just emotionally, but metabolically, you can take back control. Because even though our risk is higher, our ability to change our trajectory is also incredibly powerful. So what can we do? 1, build muscle like it's your full-time job. Remember the thin fat body type? Muscle is your medicine. Most South Asian women grew up in cultures where girls weren't encouraged to do sports. Strength training was for boys or men. Thinness was celebrated. Muscle was misunderstood. But midlife changes everything with what we know now. Strength training reduces insulin resistance, lowers blood sugar, improves metabolism, reduces abdominal fat, lowers inflammation, improves menopause symptoms, protects bones, even sharpens cognition. If you don't know where to start, body weight, resistance bands, dumbbells, or Pilates reformer, these all work. Pick something you like to do. 2 to 3 sessions a week is a great start. Start small and stay consistent. 2, prioritize protein like it's a non-negotiable. Most South Asian diets are high in carbs, low in proteins, low in omega-3 fatty acids. This accelerates loss of muscle and metabolic health in midlife. Aim for about 0.7 grams of protein for every pound. So if you weigh 100 pounds, for simplicity's sake, that would be 70 grams of protein per day. This can include things like Greek yogurt, lentils and dal, chicken and fish if you aren't vegetarian, tofu and paneer if you are, eggs. Protein shakes can help too. Protein can help blood sugar, cravings, satiety, muscle, metabolism. Another thing that we can do is know our numbers. So get these numbers checked early and regularly. Some of the most important tests I can recommend are an A1C, lipid profile including ApoB and Lp(a). Check your liver enzymes. Make sure you know your blood pressure, your weight, and waist circumference. Check your vitamin D, thyroid function, bone density or DEXA scan. And if you have PCOS, you probably need earlier and more frequent monitoring. South Asian women cannot rely on BMI. It often fails us. So consider a body composition analysis. There's many ways to do this. Like a DEXA scan can get you a body composition. So can things like an in-body scanner that are available in many gyms. And consider medication when needed and without shame, whether it's metformin, GLP-1 agonists like Ozempic and tirzepatide or Mounjaro, Zepbound, Wegovy. Highly consider statin medications and early. If your blood pressure is high, consider medications to lower that. Consider menopause hormone therapy. Don't hesitate to consider lifestyle coaching or even therapy. Medical tools exist for a reason, and needing help is not weakness, it's wisdom. Another thing that we need to work on is we need to heal the generational relationship with food. Our culture is beautiful, the food is delicious, and in our culture, food is often seen as love. But food can also be pressure, guilt, overfeeding. And this is the time to reduce refined carbs, increase fiber, add vegetables to every meal, choose whole grains, limit ultra processed snacks, reduce sugary beverages, increase protein, and focus on healthy fats. You don't need to abandon your culture to protect your health. You just need to modernize the plate and uphold boundaries that we aren't usually very good at upholding. Another thing that we can do is honor stress, rest, and your identity. South Asian women carry emotional labor, caregiving responsibilities, cultural expectations, perfectionism. Tell me a South Asian woman who grew up in America who isn't a perfectionist, and I'll give you $100. We also have guilt put on by ourselves, perhaps guilt put on by our families. We have this pressure to be the good, ideal daughter, the ideal wife, the ideal daughter-in-law, the ideal mother. Honestly, perfect doesn't exist, and people who will find flaws with you will always find flaws with you. So I'm not saying don't be your best, do be your best, but take some of the negativity with a grain of salt. Because stress is metabolic, stress is hormonal, stress can lead to inflammation. So you really need to make space for yourself and set boundaries, ask for help when you need it, and rest without apology. You are allowed to put yourself first, and when you fill your own cup, that's when you have enough to overflow to others. So if you take nothing else from this episode, hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing bad about your genetics. Your body isn't broken. It is brilliant. There are so many amazing South Asian women doing incredible things, starting businesses. Some of the most amazing entrepreneurs that I follow are South Asian women, and I am just astounded and so proud of what we have been able to do with our education, with our talents, with our skills, and with our heart. Your biology is shaped by generations of resilience, scarcity, survival, and adaptation. You are the result of women who endured everything so you could thrive. So now it's your turn, not just to survive midlife, but to embrace it as your most powerful chapter. South Asian women are strong, capable, brilliant, and resilient. We may have higher risks, yes, we do, but we also have higher potential for transformation when we understand our bodies. I'm honored to walk this journey with you. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend, a sister, an auntie, a cousin, because we change outcomes when we change conversations. Follow me on Instagram at Dr. Arti Thangudu. Subscribe to Endocrine Matters on your favorite podcast platform, and let's keep rewriting this narrative together. You deserve vibrant health, you deserve clarity, you deserve support, and you deserve to feel powerful in your body at every age. I'll see you next time.